Aw, man, I was hoping I'd have a chance to drink a little more to decide whether or not I was going to be super annoying. Can you hear me? Yeah! Okay, I can't hear myself. That's fine. I'm going to read just some book for you. I don't know. It's been a few years, and my mental illness means I don't understand, how time passes very well. So I don't know how long it's been since I've read this, but I've definitely read this before. It's one of my favorite passages from one of my favorite books, Little Weirds by Jenny Slate, who is a great comedian. This is called I Died Valentine's Day. It's not a poem, but it reads poetically, so I'm going to do it. And you can't get away from me, so I'm just going to do it anyways. Well, I just died. What do they say? They say, that's that. Yes, that is that. I woke up, and it was Valentine's Day. And I was lying in my bed, and my body was the shape of a melting chair. I was actually just a melting chair with nobody left to sit in it. I was a useless, ruined form yelling, "Sit on me, please! Put your weight on me!" in a worthless, pointless voice that sounded like a fart under the covers. Sometimes there is something mean living in me, and this mean thing gets a sick pleasure from harsh punishment and frightening imagery about who I am or what I should do. I experience a lot of difficulties. I died that day that I knew was Valentine's Day, and I knew it was Valentine's Day because it has always been my goal to be in love and to get a proper Valentine and to not be so lonely, but to have somebody who loves me so much that they miss me when I'm not there. A psychic recently looked right into the eternal cosmos and then returned to me with this elegant yet cryptic message: grow up. I'm stuck here in a cycle, and I am getting older, but I am not growing up, and my heart is getting soft, dark spots on it like a fruit that has gone bad, or is soft because too many hands have squeezed it but then put it back down, not because I am not ready, but because they were not ready for my type of fruity flesh. I felt so ripe and sweet. What was off? The truth is, I was forcing myself into people's mouths. I jumped out of their hands and into their mouths. I yelled, "Eat me!" way before they even had a chance to get hungry and notice me and lift me up. I died, and it was Valentine's Day. And I was saying, I ruined everything, because that's what the meanie in me wanted me to say, and I had no more strength to stop that sappy speech. I was using all of my strength to be a melting chair. I stayed there in the shape of the bad chair, and I thought about how I used to have a husband, and we had a few absolutely A+ Valentine's Day, but that was not enough. Grow up. I stayed in the shape of the melting chair, and I didn't protect myself at all. I wasn't careful while the cruel part of my psyche dealt me these thoughts. I let it get so far that soon the thoughts were not just within me, but were the main citizens of my world, and they were mobilizing and marching to get me. They came up from under the bed. They wrapped my body up. They pushed my eyes in, and they choked me. I had only a few breaths left, and it was enough of a clear emergency, the kind of emergency that can cause an end. I made myself get out of my dead bed, and I said, "You stop being this chair now." But it was too late. And when I went to the bathroom to look in the mirror to see if I was very sick or not, I saw dark circles, not just around my eyes, but all around my life. And I did think things like, if you die, nobody will care for the dog. And other things like, you're not even good at caring for the dog, and he's bored with you, and your beauty is gone, and you didn't appreciate it when you had it, and you're still too dumb to even locate when that window of beauty even was. Soon my face was just two dark brown circular indents with a fish mouth. I thought about how one Valentine's Day an old bad boyfriend gave me his own old digital camera and stuck it in a sock so I could unwrap it. And then he went out and bought himself a new camera, and then we broke up a few months later. And you know what? I have been waiting for a good love for a really long time, and I have been lying in order to be a part of something for almost forever. And it actually feels better just to give the whole thing a big no thank you in the form of passing right away. I stood on a spot between the bathroom and the bedroom, and I said to the bossy eternal cosmos, well, just let me go. Just let me go. I am tired of sinking down to a lower place to be with men. I am tired of throwing a tarp over some of my personality so that the shape of my identity suits some gross man a little better for whatever shitty things he needs to do in order to keep his boring identity erect and supreme. I have many grievances and no place to set them down, and I am cranky from having to shoulder this burden of reactions like I am a fucking ox that should carry your unsellable wares. I am tired of buying my own flowers. I am tired of having to hold my breath through Valentine's Day, the way you do when you drive past a graveyard. I want a Valentine from a normal person who is horny. I want a prize for how well I can love. I want to be a prize for love. And you know what? I thought it all, and it was sour, but full of energy. And I looked at the dog and said, "Will you be my Valentine?" And just like every other man I'd met so far, he couldn't exactly understand me, but he winced at my tone. And just like every other man, he was ruining my house. So I let the brown circles overtake me, because at least when you die, it is not your job to hold all of these dark discs for everyone anymore. And I took pity on the little dog and gathered him to my chest with my rotten grocery store plum heart. And I used my last bit of whatever I had to just make myself die. I turned into the only circle of light, and it didn't even feel great or like liberation. And I just floated up and lightly bonked the ceiling. And then I sank back down and settled onto the floor. And I just admitted that I love Valentine's Day, and nobody loves me, and I'm horny, and nobody is here, and I just died. The small circle of myself lay there on the floor between the two rooms that are for shitting and sleeping. But what is so hard is that even when I die, my light still stays on. That was I Died Valentine's Day by Jenny Slate from her book Little Weirds. Sorry I subjected you to all of that for the first piece. So I think we decided...